What's poppin' YouTube? What's going on, YouTubers? This is New York's finest, hosted by yours truly, Mike. What's good? Well, as you guys can see this, you guys probably recognize this from the video I did in Michael's with Miss Bobby, who's like the head customizer for doing frames and stuff. She does a really good job at what she does. Unfortunately, the gun wouldn't stay or fit in his hand, even with a lot of acrylics and stuff she used. So I just went ahead. Well, she made the decision. She basically put the gun behind this, and she actually just put his fist closed and stuff like that. So I mean, it is what it is. I am glad we used this border, and it's a really really nice border that was used, as you can see here. We use like that weird, kind of like the darkest color they had, close to blood and stuff is pot and champagne is possible, and then we added like this border, the black border over it, to kind of give that leather. It's like a leather type look to it, almost like if it kind of emulates his jacket. And we went with a white background to kind of match the white comic and stuff like that. This would have been badass if he had the coat, but if he had the coat, it probably would have came out more. It probably would have had to come out a lot more because the coat, his coat is made of like a real weird plastic, and the way it drapes, it probably wouldn't have came out as good. And I actually found the a sealed DVD. I knew I had a sealed Blade DVD somewhere. So this is really, really dope. I would have loved it if I had the Blade VHS, so I could put the VHS with it. I probably would have went ahead with the VHS over the DVD, just because obviously this came out in '98. Blade debuted in August 21st, 1998. Nobody can never contest that with me, because I waited almost a year for this to come out, because I am a huge Wesley Snipes fan. I'm a big martial artist and a big martial art fan, being a martial artist myself. And knowing that, I love all the Snipes movies, even the crappy ones. You know what I mean? So I'm a huge fan. And, my daughter, my wife was 9 months pregnant. And she wanted to go to see this with me because all I told about was Snipes. Because, back then, they would preview movies. And the movies sometimes didn't come out until like 6, 7, 9 months. Sometimes even up to a year later after they previewed it. That's how it was back in the 90s and beyond. For those out there who be like, what? Because sometimes you guys see previews and the fucking preview come out like within weeks, maybe a month. And once it hits the movie theater, it goes right to DVD like within 2 or 3 months. It took at least over a year and over once something left the movie theater for it to be put on VHS. And if it was, you were looking at a $25 to $30 movie. So that may shock a lot of you, being that, nowadays you can look at a movie, preview it, and watch it right on your fucking phone. Like, a month, 2 months later. It wasn't like that back then. But anyway, my wife gave birth to my firstborn, which was Michelle, on August 22nd, 98. So nobody can never tell me when this movie came out. Because again, this movie came out August 21st. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was probably a Friday. Because I think my daughter was born that Saturday evening. Or whatever, but anyway, I know the dates. This movie means a lot more to me, as I just explained it. It means a lot more to me, just me being a huge Wesley Snipes, aka martial art and Blade fan. But this holds a lot of memories and stuff to me, because I was there during my daughter's birth and everything, and I was called at work, and I went directly to the hospital she was born in. And again, like I said, this movie has a lot this movie means a lot to me, in a lot of ways. And then here, me and fam Eric and fam Alex was just gigging on him. I lost a lot of respect for Sergeant Slaughter in a lot of ways. I'm not going to really go into extreme vivid details on why. It's just a personal reason. I'm not going to, slander him and none of that, because that's not my cup of tea. But I have my own personal reasons, and I'm just going to leave it as that. I thought he was a real military man, and coming to find out, he's not. So, and I was there at Comic-Con, and I remember certain things that were said, and I'm a little pissed the fuck off. But whatever, it is what it is. Yes, I am a huge G.I. Joe fan. Who doesn't like Sergeant Slaughter? I mean, I was more of a fan of Sergeant Slaughter from the G.I. Joe series than I was Sergeant Slaughter the wrestler, even though the wrestler obviously was way before the G.I. Joe series, because they introduced him in the same episode they introduced the Battle Android things. I never, what does it stand for? Battle Android. What the hell does the T stand for? Whatever. But yeah, man, I'm a little But this came out dope though. I actually had an extra Sergeant Slaughter from the G.I. Joe Hasbro line. Didn't wind up, using the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter himself. And he actually wrote on that for me. I had that for a while. And then I think I got this. I got this from him at the at Comic-Con. And he gave me a discount. Really, I mean, he was cool for what it was, but I have my own. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into details on why I feel this certain way. I just found out, we were discussing it, recently. But it still came out nice. So I am gonna put this upstairs, and then arriba. The man himself, Tito Santana. So this, what were the two of the last things she did? So two of the last things she did, obviously, when I went back and I was gonna pick up the blade, and when she told me about the gun, she tried her best. It didn't work out, so she just did what she could. And in here, again, that Sergeant Slaughter, the G.I. Joe line version of the OG one, he was added to this work along with this LJN version of Tito. I believe they released 2 or 3 Titos in the LJN line. They did him in this, and I believe they did him in either the white shorts or red. But I don't think this is the only Tito Santana they did. And I'm pretty confident that's not the first or only one they did for the Hasbro line. But, I never knew I never realized Big Boss Man had the Confederate flag stitched right on. That's crazy. I never noticed that. Never met him, but I knew people that did meet him, and they say he wasn't the nicest guy, which is ironic because I've heard from other people that said that he is a really, really cool guy. So I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, just in case somebody's like, well, why did you put the Big Boss Man with him? Well, because this picture shows them in a match. And I had some of the Hasbro. I had a lot of the LGN and some of the Hasbro WWF figures. And I kept these 2 before I got rid of those. And I was like, you know what? Since I got this signed by him, and this is one of his T-shirts. Bobby folded it nicely a certain way. I would have preferred if she kind of gave a little bit of the imprint of the collar, but I think his picture is a little too far, but it came out nice though. At the end of the day, it is a T-shirt that I got from him that he actually, it's his personal shirts that he had printed, done up, and I thought that was cool. He had a couple of them, but I liked the red one better, so that's why I went with this one. And it says Tito Santana, Hall of Fame 2004. Arriba! Then it says to Mike from Tito Santana, Hall of Fame 2004. Arriba! And then, of course, this one is same. And then he actually signed that. Of course, he didn't sign that because Big Boss Man, he's not Big Boss Man. And the reason why I went with the red and green, because I think the green and red pops perfect. Mexican, when you think of Mexican colors and stuff, you think of red, green, and white, obviously. And that came out really, really nice. And she used a UV protective something which costs more money, so that way the sun won't fade it. So I'm gonna show you all the stuff that she has done. So Bobby did this one, this. So these 4 were the original that she did, the original 6. And then of course here we have, too bad I didn't see or find this until after. Imagine how nice this would have been if this could have went in there. That shit would have been dope. But she also did this one. And I believe she did this one too. I know I took two of them. Actually, no, this one came from. I mean, the other girl did a good job on what she did. This one came from the Michaels up the road from them, and I wasn't happy with the service, and they kind of screwed me over with how long it took versus what Bobby did. So I don't go to that Michaels no more. So, but that Michaels that I'm talking about now, they did this one, and I believe they did this one as well. And as you see, the girl could have did a little better with having that show a little bit more, and the Fred part. I think she could have did better. And as you see here, same thing with this. It's a little sloppy, so that's why I don't go there anymore. Because they took a long time, and I just thought it was sloppy work. You know what I mean? And and the other one that I have upstairs is, what the hell is it? Oh, the Superman one. So the Sarge is going upstairs, and the Tito Santana is going upstairs. Those are going upstairs. This Blade, I might actually put that right here in the hallway. I'm gonna find somewhere down here to put it. I might actually put it right here. I mean, I don't know. I'll figure somewhere to put it because I want to have it. It's a movie. It is Blade, but I would prefer to have it down here somewhere where it can be seen. Than not. So I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I'll figure that out. This is going upstairs, most likely. I know exactly where that's gonna go. And I don't know where that's gonna go because I don't have no wall space, but it will go upstairs somewhere because it is G.I. Joe related. And then and then here I have two other pieces, being that I'm taking advantage of another 70% off custom framing. I had this done. Everything came up to like 1900 or something like that. And these two are going to be done after. So this one, it came up to like 1,000 and something bucks, but it wound up being for something because of the 70% off. And then this one was like one something, and then she changed it. So this basically, it's a Batman movie memorabilia. So my daughter, she was doing something for a Batman thing, and she got some Batman props from The Dark Knight, which everybody knows Dark Knight is my favorite of the three Christian Bale Batman movies. I mean, I like Batman Begins. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. And I like Christian Bale's version of it. I like how they went to the beginning when he trained with Ra's al Ghul. I liked everything in that movie. Everything. League of Shadows, everything. But then when Dark Knight came out, that shit was just bad. I mean, I thought they went too goofy on his voice. The more I listen to it now, the more I'm like, yeah, they overdid it. Who is it? Who did it? You know what I mean? But still, no, it's pretty dope. And of course, Heath Ledger just brought a whole fucking another him and I forgot the actor, but I know the actor that played Two-Face is a Mormon. You know what I mean? But I like him as an actor, and I thought he did a pretty good job of Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. I mean, everybody in that movie was phenomenal. Dark Knight Rises, wasn't that much of a fan of it. To me, I think Tom Hardy stole the movie. I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body. I am the League of Shadows. I thought that, he fucking made that movie. I mean, Christian Bale, it got to the point where I thought it was just a little too watered down. And again, I thought that Tom Hardy revived it. The original Dark Knight, Dark Knight was my favorite of the three movies. Even though I did like Tom Hardy, and I thought he made the movie better. But Dark Knight was just dope. Everything about it was just fucking pinpoint right out the comic book. Like, well, not exactly, but pretty dope. Anyhow, so moving on to this. So here you have this M, then you got this little dot. Then you got this M and then a smaller M. And then right here, you're probably wondering why is that empty space? Well, my daughter, again, everybody knows I'm a Batman fanatic. I mean, hell, you know, like I mean, I'm Batman. Like the MC guys I used to roll with, UR, which means United Riders in Brooklyn. You know, that was my name. And everybody know I'm a Batman fanatic, so that's why I had the name Batman. I mean, hell, let me show y'all just to give you guys a prime example. I mean, you know, Batman and Superman are my best DC people. Those two are my favorite DC. I don't have one over the other. Just like Hulk and Wolverine. So here is my cut, and there you have it. This is my cut. For those who don't know what a cut is, I'm not gonna sit here and explain it to you. I'm not. And yes, my front porch is a mess because I've been waiting to do a garage sale for the last fucking 2.5 months, but the weather has been crazy. So you're like, oh my god, your place is a mess. No, it's not. It's just I always leave TVs and stuff up here, so that way I don't put them in the back of the garage. They get broken, busted, and whatever. It's easier if somebody buys them. It's easier to put them out here, and then if somebody don't, it's easier to put them right back there than to take them away in the back with other stuff and they wind up getting broken. So anyway, going back to this. So she actually had three newspaper clips from, like different articles. And I got all three of them. So these two match. The colors are exact. This one is just a slight brighter white. So I had these done. These going to be here. And then this right here is a coin. It is a movie prop. Not really a two. It's two. I think it's like the head, like the female justice or something like that. But one side, after Rachel was killed in the explosion, one side is dirty. So that's how he becomes. He uses that. I mean, he always used a coin for fate, but the other side is dirtier and scuffed up. So she just, they don't have a mirror or something. Even if they did, they would have to raise it a certain areas. I mean, certain ways so you could see behind it. So we just left the clean one off. And we're going to show the burnt one. And then here you have I think there's some piece for the expo that my daughter went to or did some shit like that. So I added that in there. And then right here is going to be the deck of cards. It is a movie prep deck of cards with different jokers. And the one side of it, the blind side of it is like black and purple and I think white or something like that. And then there's different jokers. So she's going to have the jokers inside that. And then the card itself, one of the blind side of the card is gonna be it's crazy. And then you got the bank robber mask, when he was standing there waiting for the guys to help him rob the bank. So the mask is gonna be here. That's why this space is here. So that's the whole thing of this. I was gonna buy. I should have been thought about this. I had enough. I have fucking over a year to get these figures, but I didn't think I would do it. And I could have been, I don't know how many times, even the last couple of shows and shit I went to, I easily could have got a Two-Face, that Heath Ledger, and the Christian Bale Batman. And I could have put them in here because my plan was to have her, basically, you see this. So what I was going to do was have the figures just glued to the rim. Like right here, I was going to have one figure here, one here, and then, asymmetrically, another one here, so they match up, and all the other stuff that I just mentioned would be in the background. That was the point. But she was a little frustrated, and I think she kind of got screamed at a little bit because I'm not going to go into details, but, I think when I changed a couple things around, she did me a favor. Let's just put it that way. And I think she kind of got in trouble for it. So she wanted to have everything this time. And that was my plan, was to put the figures in it, and I think that would have popped better. But I was like, fuck it. We just leave it as that. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to take advantage of the 70%. If I didn't, that frame alone was going to cost me over $2,200 without the military discount. So with the discount 10%, it brought it down to like 19 something. And then with the 70%, it broke it down to almost 5. So I pay, and with Michaels, you got to pay up front for everything. So paid up front for it. And then This one here, I had this picture for a while, and 2 times the Roddy Piper 8x10, the picture frame that was in, because the Michaels do sell a lot of shit, but some of the picture frames are shit. And both times, both picture frames fell and broke, and the glass. And thank goodness that the glass or nothing impelled or destroyed or did anything to the photo, because I actually got him to sign this and my belt, I think about 4 or so months before he passed away. So that, that is extremely special to me. And then this figure I had out of another WWF Hasbro line. No, actually, I just brought that from Perry. I brought that from Perry Sunday. Oh no, was it Perry or some? Whoever the fuck I brought it from. It was in great condition. The guy only wanted $10 for it. I couldn't go in my pocket fast enough to give him the money because it was like almost brand new, great condition. And my plan with this was to get the LJN version with the kilt, but I didn't want to spend $70 to $100 for a LJN Roddy Piper with the kilt. Cause I mean, it would have been dope if I could have put one on one side and then it would have been cool. But this, it is what it is. So I basically went with what I had, man. So yep. So that's basically what's going on. I know I didn't even realize I spent over 22 minutes, almost 22 minutes explaining myself what's going on. But it's customized stuff and it's different. It's unique and it's different and it's something I came up with. And I don't mind paying to display certain things if it looks nice. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.